here I am on the top of Mount Kosciuszko. As you can see, it's a typical Kosciuszko day. And right now is the beginning of my big journey down from the summit here down to the sea. So I'm about to hike down from Kosci to Dead Horse Gap, and then Kath and Carolyn, who are down there, they're going to meet me down at Dead Horse Gap and give me my mountain bike, and I'm going to ride down to the source of the Murray River. So I should get down there probably tomorrow. I might have to put subtitles on this because this wind is getting a bit loud. So then head down to the source tomorrow, and then ride along the ridge lines near the Murray, probably for about 4 days, and then get in the river down near Khancoban. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting start. I would have liked to at least seen a bit of a view to show you where everything is, but basically out there to the east is where the source is, and then out there to the west is where the Murray goes. There's my trusty support team. There's Kath, there's Carolyn. So Kath wants to interview me now, so I'm going to give you the camera to Kath. She's going to ask me questions. How do I feel?
Yeah.
A bit cold at the moment. No, I feel good. I was originally going to camp up on top of here tonight, which I'm glad I'm not, because it's going to be raining and 70 km/h winds like it is now. But now, as Irvine used to say to Mallory, climb high, camp low. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Probably camping down near Cascade Hut, which will be much more pleasant, hopefully, because I'll be out of this wind.
What do you hope to gain out of the trip?
What do I hope to gain? I hope to gain enlightenment. Enlightenment and a good body.
So, what do you see as being the hardest part of your whole trip?
The hardest bit is going to be the bike ride, because I'm not a cyclist. Kayakers don't ride bikes. But so 4 days of riding up 1,000 metre plus gain. I think that's in 2 days it's about 1,500 metres. And yeah, I think that's going to be the hardest bit.
Okay.
And then maybe the psychological bit of being on my own for 2 months.
Yeah.
But that's what FaceTime's for. What do you think of this crazy endeavour that I'm doing?
I think it's wonderful.
Oh.
It's something you've wanted to do for a long time, and it'll get it out of your system.
Or it might encourage me to do
It
more.
might encourage you to do more. Well, exactly, yeah. So, yeah.
So this is the all-important bit of the trip, which is starting the GPS. So it is noon on the 9th of May, Sunday the 9th of May, on Mother's Day. And hopefully by the end of this trip, this will be reading well and truly over 2,500 kilometres. So yeah, time to hit the road. So I'm now hiking down the Dead Horse track. I've just left the girls. They are down there, heading down the track to the chairlift. So they're going to head back to Thredbo and go and pick up the car with my bike, and they're going to meet me down at Dead Horse Gap, which is in about 4 k's. And then I'm going to start the bike ride. Still doesn't look like it's going to rain yet, but it's still bloody misty. But that's down there is kind of where I'm heading for the ride today, so looks like it's pretty good weather at the moment. There's Dead Horse Gap down there, so that's the end of the hiking, and that track that goes off into the distance up there, that is the Cascade track. So that's where I'm going to be riding in about half an hour once I've transferred all my gear into the bike. My trusty support crew down there. So the first hill I just had to ride up was absolutely brutal. I think my body wasn't ready to ride a bike after 20 k's of hiking today. But now, as you can see here, it's pretty much flattened out. So I've got about 8 k's, I think, riding along that ridge line that goes all the way over there. And I think I'm camping up somewhere near that saddle. So yeah, it's about 10 past 4, so I've got about an hour to go till sunset. But yeah, looking forward to getting there and having some dinner and probably hitting bed pretty soon. Well, there's the first lot of wild brumbies, wild horses, living out here in the Snowy Mountains. There's been a lot of horse poo around on the tracks, so I'm not surprised that there's some of them out here. That was cold, a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. Shit! Oh, my feet are freezing and wet. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, my feet are so cold. Oh, that was the last thing I needed. Only about 1 kilometre away from the hut. I just had to cross a river. And it was a bit deeper than I thought, so pretty much went up to my knees. Now my shoes are all wet and freezing cold. Oh shit. It's nearly, what's the time? It's about 5:30, so I've got about 10 more minutes of light. But that's alright. At least I know I can camp there. And I've got dry socks in my bag and I might have to dry my shoes on my stove tonight. There you go. Cascade Hut. I made it. My legs are only slightly cramped and my feet are very wet, but I made it. Well, welcome to Cascade Hut. It's pretty dark in here, but as you can see, I've got a nice fire going so I can dry my shoes out and my socks, which you can't see there, but that's going to keep me nice and warm. So I've just found a candle in this hut, so I thought I may as well use it to do my evening video blog or whatever it is. Today has been absolutely exhausting. I think I was a little bit ambitious in what I was trying to do. In fact, I think this whole bike ride might be a little bit ambitious now that I've started it. Anyway, I'm in the hut here. I don't think I'm going to bother putting up a tent. I can't even really be bothered making dinner, so I'm just having some cuppa soup. And then I'm just going to get into my sleeping bag and try and sleep, because I think the excitement of last night was a little bit too much for me, and I didn't really sleep much last night, so that's kind of added to all my exhaustion. So I'll get the fire going and cranking, and then I'm just going to coil up and go to sleep. So catch you later. Well, good morning and welcome to day 2 of this journey. It has been quite a nice night in the hut. It's very warm. I had the fire going until I went to sleep, and then it was quite sheltered. But been listening to the howling winds all night and listening to branches breaking and things. So the weather's certainly starting to turn. And as a result, this morning I had to make a bit of a hard decision and decide that I am not going to go down to the source of the Murray today, because it's basically another 40-kilometre ride down into a fairly remote valley, and they're forecasting that there's going to be snow this afternoon and snow all day tomorrow, and if not snow where I'm going, at least it'll be pouring with rain. And I pretty much don't want to compromise myself by getting myself stuck down in a valley 50 k's from the closest road. So as shitty as that is, that I'm going to miss out and going down to the source, I guess I can always come back and hike down there or ride down there in another day. But as it's only day 2, I don't really want to screw up the rest of my whole journey by having a rough couple of first days. So today I'm going to ride back up to Dead Horse Gap and then ride down the Alpine Way to Tom Grogan, which is down on the Murray, and it's a much nicer campsite to probably be stuck in the tent if it's going to be horrible weather tomorrow. But fingers crossed it will be okay down in the valley and once I'm out of these mountains. Anyway, I'm going to go and pack up and start getting things ready. So I just got that message from Kath. So up at the top station at Thredbo, where I had planned to camp last night, minus 13 and 102 km/h winds. So very glad I'm not up there, and that also has confirmed that I basically want to get off the mountains and down into the valley and get out of all this wind. Unfortunately, I do have to ride up to Dead Horse Gap, which is pretty high and pretty exposed, but at least I can just keep pushing on and get out of here. So last night in the dark, you might remember I rode through this creek here and got my shoes and my pants and stuff and socks very wet. Now that it's daytime, I was expecting that I'd have to ride through here again this morning, but I just discovered there was actually a bridge, and that would have made life a lot easier last night, trying to dry my shoes and things. But anyway, that's what happens when you ride in the dark and you're just desperate to get on home. Well, I knew when I was riding down this hill last night that this was going to be a pretty painful climb, and it certainly is. It's taken me about an hour to do 3 kilometres, so I've got a couple more kilometres of up, and then it's pretty flat. Well, considering compared to this, it's flat when you're riding to Dead Horse along the top of the ridge. But luckily I'm not doing the ride down to the source, because if I had, I would have been doing about 25 kilometres of uphill like this tomorrow in the snow. So yeah, another benefit of not going down to the source today. Well, I think I'm pretty much at the top of the hill, or the big hill for today. It's taken me about 3 hours to cover 4.5 kilometres, because it's been pushing the bike pretty much, mostly walking up the hill, and it's certainly started raining. It's bloody cold, and as you can see, I'm well and truly up in the clouds now. So I made it to Dead Horse Gap. So it's a nice, well, tiny little shelter here, but able to make myself a cup of coffee. I don't know where I put it. I'm trying to get my hands warm. So now the plan is to ride to Tom Grogan, and that's pretty much on the Alpine Way. So I actually have to head up that road there, all the way up the hill, and then sort of make my way down into the Murray River Valley. So it's going to be I don't know, probably a couple of hours just riding on Bitumen Road. But yeah, the hills are going to be pretty fun because they're headwinds with the rain. I was hoping for some drama, and I certainly have got it on this ride so far. Right now I can see definitely why they have named this Siberia. Well, I made it to Tom Grogan. That was a bit of an epic day, but a fun downhill ride of about 8 kilometres of just pure downhill without pedalling. But the most exciting thing about being here is we're finally at the Murray River. And even though I didn't get to see it at the source, this is pretty good. So from here, it's about 400 kilometres down to the ocean. So I've got a couple more days of riding along the river until I get to Khancoban, and then yeah, start paddling. But it's really nice to actually see the river finally after doing all that riding. Now I'm going to go and set up camp and eat a whole lot of food. So as you can see, I've got a lovely campsite here, perfect spot. Pitched the tent right near the river there. Wake up with a nice river view, and plenty of kangaroos over here. I'll take you over and show you them. So I thought I should take advantage of the sunlight or the daylight and do my daily confessional. No, it's not a confessional. My daily blog. So as you would have seen this morning, I made that decision not to go down to the source, which was a big part of this trip, but it was going to be pretty ridiculous. It was forecast to be like it was, very windy, very snowy and cold and rainy, and it was quite nice not to be knowing that I was going to go down 30 kilometres further into the valley and be very remote and not get stuck down there. Plus, I have definitely decided I'm not a cyclist, so riding up hills and stuff is just not something I enjoy. So having the idea of having to spend a day or two just hiking and climbing up that mountain really didn't appeal to me. So happy with that decision, and it's really nice to be down here at the Murray, down here at Tom Grogan. The temperature difference is amazing, considering at what was about 1,500 metres up there at Dead Horse Gap, and that was freezing cold. And then by the time I got down here into the valley, which is at about 500 metres, the temperature is a huge difference. So, and Kath has told me that up there at Thredbo it's still freezing cold, so I'm glad I'm down here now. So anyway, all up, a pretty good day. I enjoyed riding down the hills, didn't enjoy going up them so much. But tomorrow I've got to go to the top of Mount Youngal, so I've got a bit of riding along the Alpine Way, so Bitumen Road, and then I have to climb up a huge hill. I think it's about 800 metre climb, so it's going to be a hard day tomorrow, but then the final day after that is just riding back down the Indy trail down into Khancoban. So all up, going well, and I should be able to get a good rest this afternoon and tonight, and looking forward to a big day tomorrow. I think it is meant to be raining and stuff tomorrow, but that's alright. We can get the rhythm going and just get up that hill. So see you tomorrow. Sorry, just getting the breakfast out of my teeth. Welcome to day 3. It's a Tuesday morning, I think. Yeah. So I'm halfway between Tom Grogan and the turn off to go up Mount Youngal. So it ended up raining from about 4 o'clock last night, so I ended up being in my tent for about 13 hours till I got sick of it. So at about 4 o'clock this morning I decided I'd get up and start packing, and I was on the road by about 5:30 this morning, which is quite good actually, because when you're riding at night you can't see the hills you have to go up, so you're just kind of focusing on the torchlight. So yeah, about 13 k's in, and I think about another 8 or 9 until I get to that turnoff, and then it's a 1,000 metre climb today, so I pretty much wanted to give myself all day to get up Mount Youngal. It's going to be a long day. It's the day I've been dreading for this whole trip actually. So yeah, I'm glad I've had an early start, and I'll just keep pushing up that mountain until I get to the top. But the biggest disaster that's happened so far in this whole trip is I have lost my bag of coffee and tea bags. I don't know where it is. So I'm not going to be able to have a coffee or a tea for a couple of days, so that will probably just contribute to my somewhat grumpiness as I'm climbing these mountains. So here we are, the start of the Mount Youngal climb. So I'm at about 500 meters above sea level, and over, I think in the next 12 k's I've got to go up 1,000 meters up to 1,500 feet above, or meters above sea level. So I think there's going to be a lot of hiking, a lot of walking, but it's only 8:45 in the morning, so I've got all day to get up there. And then after that I hit the Indy trail tomorrow and ride back down into Khancoban, where I can finally get a coffee. Well, I'm about 350 meters up so far, so a third of the way. As you can see out there, I've pretty much come up that ridgeline there and down from the bottom of the valley there. Over there is towards Kosciuszko, and you can see it's pretty cloudy and cold up there. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same up on top of Mount Youngal. I'm already starting to see the clouds forming up there. So it's all starting to happen. So I just got up to 1,000 meters above sea level, so halfway up in terms of altitude, and it just started to rain, so I think the weather's gonna go a bit ugly this afternoon, but that's alright. I'll probably get to the top in a couple of hours and then head back down the Indy trail in Khancoban. Whew, getting a bit hot and red in the face. Anyway, gotta keep plodding up the track. Whew, I'm averaging a rest about every 40 meters at the moment. I'm just sort of going white post to white post, then having a break. But I've got the blues playing. I've got Robert Johnson, which is great music for this sort of environment. And I think I am, what am I at? 1,100 meters, so 400 more to go. Getting there. Well, I friggin' made it. I got to the top. I'm now at the top of the Indy trail, which goes down there. Pretty rough. And I'm eating a piece of my mum's fruitcake to celebrate. I don't have a huge amount of water left, so I'm going to hopefully see if I can get all the way down to Khancoban this afternoon, or at least be as close as I can, so when I run out of water in the morning I will be able to get some pretty much straight away. Alright, my battery's about to go flat and I can't be bothered changing it, so I'll let you know how I'm going this afternoon. Ooh, I can smell my brakes burning. This is pretty full on. Oh shit. Well, that is stack number one. Wasn't too bad, I just overbalanced. But shit, this is a really hard track. It has got so many logs and things on it. And it's bloody steep. As you can see, I've still got a fair way to keep going down, and there's a lot of logs and stuff to negotiate. So yeah, I'm gonna slowly make my way down. This is really hard. I'm just on the Indy trail, and it's definitely not what I expected it to be. Well, it sort of is, but not when I'm so bloody tired. There's not much track here, and it's all just branches and logs and things, which makes it also a bit hard to find somewhere to camp, because I don't want to camp under any of these trees that are going to drop anything on me in the night. So just having a little rest. I've been going for, I don't know, since 5:45, and it's now about 2 o'clock, and it feels like about 8 o'clock at night, so this is really hard. Now I'm gonna have a little rest, I think, and then I might think about just pushing on a bit better. I know there's a clearing in 10 kilometres, but that's taken me an hour to do 2.5, and I'm just so exhausted because I'm still pushing the bike. Alright. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is much better. I love going downhill. Whew. Gotta be careful though, because I'm so tired. It's hard to hold the brakes. Just when I thought the track was getting good, I got this to contemplate. I might have to go this way. Oh, Jesus. Whew, bike's heavy. Shit. Ugh. A little fit. Nearly. It's a bit hard to see down there, but that is the Murray River. That's why I'm riding along this godforsaken track, because the plan is to ride as close to that river as I possibly can, and this track happens to be the one. Well, it's nice seeing that. It actually makes it feel worth it. Well, I don't really know how to describe today without swearing, because that's pretty much all I've done all day. That was 11 hours of riding. I haven't done the maths, but considering that was a 1,000-metre climb, plus I did 300 metres before, and then for the last 3 hours I've done heaps more climbing. I think there's a lot of climb today. I can certainly tell you I'm dehydrated and I'm really feeling it. So tired. So as you can see, I've set up my tent here just on the track. This track hasn't been used for years, and there's a lot of logs fallen over, as you will have seen in my video earlier. So I'm fairly protected here. The tent is sopping wet from last night, so I've just had to dry the floor out with a towel to try and make it not so horrible. But doing well. I mean, I've only got probably about 10 k's to do. I've got to basically go over that hill down there, and Khancoban, you probably can't see it, is down in the valley down there. So only a few hours tomorrow morning, which is probably good, because the big issue I've got today is that's all the water I've got left. So about 800 mils, and I'm very dehydrated, so I'm going to drink a lot of that tonight and then just push on to Khancoban and go and eat egg and bacon rolls and drink a lot of Coke. That's the plan for tomorrow morning. So yeah, a lot longer than I'd planned. 11 hours is not what I planned, but I kind of made that decision when I was up at the top of the Indy track at Mount Youngal, that it was freezing cold up there and I wasn't going to camp up there. So it's much nicer being down here at about, I don't know, must be about 600 metres rather than 1500 metres. So much warmer and a lot less wind. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and pass out, even though it's only 5:30. I think I deserve a sleep. I've been going since 5:30 this morning. Anyway, I'm sure I'll have plenty to say about that ride when I can be bothered thinking about it. Catch you later. Well, good morning. It is day 4 and a beautiful morning it is. Look at that sunrise. It's a cracker. I had 10 hours sleep last night, so I got in the tent about 6 p.m. and crashed and didn't really wake up till just after 4. So feeling pretty good, a little bit dehydrated, but only have a couple of hours to go till I get down into Khancoban where I can get a proper breakfast, and then it's only about another 10 k's until I get to the Murray, and that's the end of the bike ride. So yeah, feeling really good today. I thought I'd be a lot tighter in the body, but feeling alright. My shoulders are very sore from pushing the bike, so holding this camera is getting a bit shaky. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to go enjoy this sunrise and then head down the hill. Oh my god, starting the day with a massive mountain climb. Oh shit, not what I was planning. Oh fuck. Problem with this bloody ridge is you got to keep going down those hills and then back up them. Well, I think I jinxed myself by getting excited about having a decent breakfast, because I've just had to climb up another massive hill that I don't think if it had been raining I would have been able to get up. It was so steep. I was pretty much on my knees halfway up it. And now I got to the top, and now, as you can see, there's another saddle to go down and another big hill to climb, which really sucks because Khancoban's just down here. Where's my finger? Down here. You might be wondering why I'm self-filming doing this, because it's actually quite nice to be walking without pushing the bike. It's just a different way of stretching the legs. Maybe this is the top of the biggest hill. Can only hope. Well, the weather station always is a sign of being at the top of the hill, which is good. And down there is the valley with the Murray River in it. I'll see if I can get you a closer shot. There it is, the Murray River. Cannot wait to be paddling along that. Well, there's Khancoban. It's looking nice and close. I've got a lot of downhill to go. This is a fairly steep hill. It looks like there may be a little hill to go up again around the corner there. But I've just got to go around the bottom of that dam and then into town. Oh fuck, I think I'm going to walk this bit. Don't know what to say. I'm freaking off the mountain. I feel so nauseous from dehydration and just bouncing down that hill that I don't really want to talk. I've just got to head over there to get some stuff from the shops, and then it's all over. Oh, there's a nice kite. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can catch that. No, can't be bothered. Anyway, I'll talk later. So happy, so tired. I've been thinking about that for like 4 hours. There again. There you go, made it to Khancoban. So 120 k's over those 4 days, and I've got myself a bag of chips and a Coke. Actually, Kath and Carolyn did because they just arrived at the same time. And now I'm going to go and head in and have some breakfast, brunch, lunch, or whatever it is. I've lost track of what day it is, let alone what time. Anyway, that was epic, and I'm pretty sure that bike will be for sale when I get back to Sydney. I don't think I'm a cyclist. I think I much enjoy paddling and hiking. So anyway, thank you for joining me this week. I've got 2 days off. I'm a day ahead of schedule actually, so I've got 2 days off before I start paddling on Saturday. And yeah, I'm just going to let my legs and arms rest from that epic ride. Catch you later. See you in about a week.